I get this question a lot, and I actually had several emails this morning, about 3 of them on this exact topic, so I'm like, why don't I make a video for my secret channel? As you know, these videos are pretty unpolished, but they're pretty direct and designed to just get a conversation going and to encourage you guys to look at dog training maybe a little bit differently, or maybe to affirm what you're already doing. What type of collar should we use with our dogs? In general, I recommend a nylon or leather collar, or also a harness. Harnesses are also very good. Head collars are wonderful as well. Those are collars that go around our dog's snout. However, I only recommend those head collars for people who can truly not control their dog. Like, they have such a difficult time that they're going to get pulled over. Because head collars don't really teach, but they're more humane in order to get your dog to at least not pull you over. What type of collars do I not recommend? Well, if you followed me for any length of time, you will know the answer to this. But if you're new, as so many of you are, choke chains, prong collars, and shock collars. I would think that one would be a given. I would think. But now you see a lot of dog training franchises rising up who are basing their whole training ideology on these shock collars. When we get a dog, our attitude should not be, let me listen to the first thing that I hear because this is a professional out there. Because these professionals can be quite persuasive. I was watching a video recently on YouTube where a dog trainer, in quotes, was meeting with a client privately and saying, you know, if you use the shock collar right, it's actually okay. It's just a little tingle. And they'll put it on the lowest setting and they'll do a little tingle, which, by the way, you know, I have definitely felt the shock of a shock collar on a regular setting, just a normal setting, not really high. And no, it is not just a little tingle. It is a downright shock, and it is not pleasant. Because, you know, I have an open mind. I want to see, well, is it just a little tingle? Not that it would matter. I wouldn't use that anyway. But I want to know. I want to know what's out there. It's my job as a professional to keep my hand on the pulse of the dog training world and understand what the methods are that are being used out there. Even if it was, and this applies to choke chains and prong collars as well, true teaching does not happen from the outside inward. Does that make sense? True teaching happens from the inside out in order to motivate our dogs to want to think. That is the way we get great compliance from our dogs. So do not use a choke chain, do not use a prong collar, do not use anything that restricts your dog's airway or shocks them into compliance. If these guys were choke chain trained, they wouldn't be sitting out here off leash like this. There are no shock collars on my dogs to get them to stay. The fact is, if you build a relationship with your dog, they want to stay with you. They don't want to drift away from you. They enjoy being with you, and that's really what we want. Even if these things work when they're on, they will not work when they are not on. Dogs do not make that association. They do not generalize like that because they're not truly being taught. They're just being dominated. True training is not about domination, but it is about communication. There are no shortcuts to time, but the way to get the most out of our time is to be patient and consistent and understanding with our dogs. I hope this helps. I should make this disclaimer here. I'm not attacking you if you are a member of the general public and you're using this. I know that we have an uphill battle to convince the rest of the dog training community and the dog trainers out there that, look, this isn't the way to go. I know you've been advised to do this, but my girlfriend Bree showed me something on Facebook the other day that said, in the internet age, ignorance is a choice, and I think that's very simply and profoundly put. There's plenty of information out there to show you how to go about doing this right, should you just take the opportunity to do it. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next video. Bye. I get this question a lot, and I actually had several emails this morning, about 3 of them on this exact topic, so I'm like, why don't I make a video for my secret channel? As you know, these videos are pretty unpolished, but they're pretty direct and designed to just get a conversation going and to encourage you guys to look at dog training maybe a little bit differently, or maybe to affirm what you're already doing. What type of collar should we use with our dogs? In general, I